Whatever you do, don't tolerate sin in your life. Jesus said, "If thy hand offend thee, cut it off. It's better for thee to enter into life maimed than having two hands to go into hell, into the fire that never shall be quenched, where their worm dieth not and their fire is not quenched." He said the same thing about your foot, and he said the same thing about your eye. He says it'd be better to only have one eye than to wind up in hell. So what is he saying when he tells us this? Does he really want us to mutilate our body? Let me tell you a story to try and illustrate that. Once upon a time, there was a coyote. And this old coyote, she was crafty. She was raising a litter of pups, and she was trying to teach them how to do what she loved to do the most, and that was to catch and eat lambs. So on their way to the pasture, they came to a net wire fence. It was a really nice hole in the fence, and the pups, they were aiming for that hole. She said, "Stop, pup, stop. Don't go through that hole." She said, "Look carefully. You can see that there is a trap in that hole in the fence. It's called a snare, and if you get caught in it, the more you struggle, the tighter it will get." "How do you know, Mother?" they said. "Well, I got caught in one time. She held up her front paw that was missing. She said, after struggling all night long, I had no choice but to chew my paw off, because it was better to only have 3 paws than to let the rancher catch me with his rifle." As they continued on, one day they found another spot that the pups could smell something wonderful. And as they began to investigate, she said, "Stop, pups, be still." She said, "Underneath the dirt right here, there's a trap. It has jaws, and if you get in it, it'll catch you." She said, "And it'll hold you tight until the rancher can come and bring his rifle." "How do you know, Mother?" Well, she held up her hind foot that was missing half of her foot. All of her toes were gone. She said, "Because once I stepped in one of those kinds of traps, and I had no choice but to chew off my toes and the end of my foot to be able to escape, because being without a foot is better than the rancher catching you with his rifle." Another day, as they traveled along, the pups smelled something wonderful again. She said, "Be careful, pups." They said, "Mother, is it one of those traps with the jaws?" And she said, "No, this one is different. This one has a poisonous gas in it. And if you step on the trap, it will spray that gas into your face and it will kill you instantly." "How do you know, Mother?" She said, "Well, I barely escaped this, and that's why I've only got one eye, because one of my eyes was burned out by the gas." They said, "Mother, there's so many traps." And she said, "Ah, yes, but once you learn how to avoid the traps, then you can go and get the lambs that you love so much." Not long after that, she'd led the pups out into the rancher's pasture, and she had just caught one of his lambs, and she was ready to lay her teeth into that lamb and eat that lamb that she loved so much. And she never heard the sound of the rifle when the rancher took her life out there on the pasture that day. You see, the moral of the story is that even though the coyote had lost her eye and lost her foot and lost her paw, it had never done any good in her life to change her appetites and her heart. You see, she's a coyote, and coyotes love lamb. And that's what Jesus is telling us here. It would be better, if you could, to cut your hand off than to enter into and to be cast into hell. It would be better to enter into life with one hand. The problem is it's not your hand that causes you to sin. Just like that old coyote, you can cut your hand off and your appetites for sin will still be there. No, you need something different. You need a new heart. Jesus told us in Mark chapter 7, verse 20, he said, "That which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, and foolishness. All these evil things come from within and defile the man." Let me just encourage you this morning. You can't cut your hand off and it keep you from stealing. You can't gouge your eye out and it keep you from lusting. You can't cut your foot off and it keep you from running into sin. You need a new heart. And the only one who can give you a new heart is the Lord Jesus Christ. So let me encourage you to go to Him and to confess your sin and to receive by faith the new life that Jesus will give you with a new set of appetites. God bless you. Have a great day.